everyone. Today we are going to talk about William Glasser. He was born in 1925 and died in 2013. Who is Glasser, you might ask? Glasser was an American psychologist and an author. He grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. Glasser felt obligated by his family's modest means to seek education that would land him a good job. In 1945, Glasser received a degree in engineering. Working in this field was not fulfilling for him, and he was very unhappy with this job. He decided to study psychology and began his residency at the VA hospital in Los Angeles. During his residency, he began to formulate his choice theory. A quote from Dr. Glasser in 1984 was, "What they taught in effect was that you aren't responsible for your miserable problems, because you are the victim of factors and circumstances beyond your control. I objected to that. My thrust was that patients have to be worked with as if they have choices to make. My question is always, what are you going to do about your life, beginning today?" Take a minute to think about that yourself. What are you going to do about your life, beginning today? So, what did Glasser believe? Glasser believed that mental health is mostly a matter of personal choice. He believed that one can make the choice to be a happy individual. He was a strong advocate for therapy instead of prescription drug use, and even saw changes in schizophrenic patients through therapy. So, what exactly is choice theory? Choice theory is a new way of thinking that shifted the locus of control from outward to inward. Choice theory says that we choose everything, including the misery that we feel. Choice theory in relationships. Glasser believes that relationships deteriorate when we depend on what he calls external control psychology. External control psychology exists when people attempt to control others by using one or more of the 7 deadly habits. So I'm sure you are wondering, what are the 7 deadly habits? The first deadly habit is criticizing. The second is blaming. The third is complaining. The fourth is nagging. The fifth is threatening. The sixth is punishing. And the seventh is bribing. So what about successful relationships? According to Glasser, in order for a relationship to be successful, especially over the long term, the 7 deadly habits must be replaced by the 7 caring habits. So, what are the 7 caring habits? The first is supporting, the second is encouraging, the third is listening, the fourth is accepting, the fifth is respecting, the sixth is trusting, and last but not least, the 7th is negotiating. Principles of choice theory. Behavior is never caused by a response to an outside stimulus, such as a person or an event. Other people could not make us happy or miserable. They can only give us information to proceed, and we decide to do with it. Likewise, I cannot change the behavior of others. I can only give them information to process from themselves. The only person I can control in this world is me. I am in control of my life much more than I realize. Stop seeing yourself as a victim. You are not a victim. All long-lasting problems are relationship problems, and strained relationships must be repaired to meet basic needs. Unhappy people are unhappy because they cannot get along with the people they want to get along with. So, what are our basic needs? The first is survival, food, shelter, and water. The second, love and belonging, feeling loved and accepted by others. The third is power, achievement, and winning. The fourth is freedom, independence, autonomy, and freedom from external controls. The fifth is fun, pleasure, and enjoyment. These basic needs are innate. We are born with them, and we need these basic needs to create meaningful relationships. Without these things, you will become very unhappy, and you are the only one in control of this. What does all of this have to do with classroom management, you might wonder? Students act on these needs at all times, and many have learned disruptive ways of meeting these needs. Students exhibit basic behavior when their basic needs are not being met. Another quote from Dr. Glasser: "There is no real reason to fail a child. Once children start failing, they begin to believe that they can't do anything. They give up." Think about this in your own classrooms. If a child is failing and they begin to believe that they can't do anything, then they will give up. What could you do to make sure they are not failing? What could you do to make sure they don't give up? What can we do as teachers? Survival. Ensure all students are eating nutritious meals. Give them regular exercise and fresh air. Encourage good sleeping habits. If you're in your classroom, even doing things like getting them moving around, walking from group to group, or doing short brain breaks are great exercise. Power. Give them a voice in the classroom and allow their questions to guide instruction. Fun. Give opportunities to play, show enthusiasm, provide opportunities for creativity. Freedom. Let students establish seating arrangements, let them choose partners, and give choice for projects and activities. It is okay to let them know that you are giving them this freedom, but that the freedom can be taken away. Love and belonging. Greet your students at the door. Have a positive attitude. This means you are not sitting in your classroom at your desk getting ready last minute. Make sure you arrive at the classroom on time and that you are able to stand outside and greet each student every morning. 6 conditions for quality schoolwork. There must be a warm, supportive classroom environment. Students should be asked to do only useful work, not busy work. Worksheets are a great tool for busy work. You should not use them as often. Students are always asked to do the best they can do. Students are asked to evaluate their own work and improve it. Quality work always feels good. Quality work is never destructive. 7 steps you can use to apply choice theory with your students. 1. Establish involvement with your students. 2. Focus on their behavior. 3. The students must accept responsibility for their behavior. 4. The student should evaluate their behavior. 5. Develop a plan. 6. Students must make a commitment to follow the plan. 7. Follow up and follow through. It is extremely important that you follow through. Thank you for listening to my presentation on William Glasser. I hope you learned a lot and it was very useful information.